The Falcons had that 50 year of hip hop celebration. You were there, speech.
I was there.
What was it like being in that building, seeing all of those legends and being recognized with everybody as one big happy family, man?
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was, you know, I mean, Rico was still alive.
Yep.
He was there.
Rich homie.
Yep. It's funny because we were backstage. And I think for me, because I came from a different era than a lot of the brothers there,
Yeah.
so I recognized some of them, and then some of them I didn't really know well. And they
Yeah.
would come up to me and be like, yo, I appreciate, and that
Yeah.
just it warmed my heart, man, because you know, sometimes as you get older in this thing, there is ageism.
Yeah.
And sometimes as you get older, you don't feel that there's a certain respect from the younger generation because
Yeah.
they don't know what you've contributed. They don't even know what you're about.
Yeah.
So it feels weird. And so when you get that love, it feels like, yo,
Yeah.
man, it feels good. Like you said, like a
Exactly.
homecoming, you know. It's
Come
like,
on.
Yeah, it felt great.
So now, what are we working on now, though, speech?
So we got a new album that we're doing.
Okay.
It's called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. And the title is interesting. It comes out July 4th.
Okay.
So it's, to me, it's like hip hop artists have grown up with it since the 70s to now.
That's right.
It's not fair for us to compete against a hip hop artist who's 18 and trying to, you know, make the high school happy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
I agree.
it's two different worlds. And
Yeah.
we don't have that right now. So right now we're all competing. If Nas released a record today, he's competing with, you know, whoever, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whoever's just dropped today that's younger. And that's not fair. I feel like there needs to be another sort of way to look at this music
That's
that's
right.
coming from people that's older. So it's like adult contemporary hip hop. It's hip hop that I feel like that the group feels like is cool for people that's, you know, maybe 40 and up, you know what I'm saying? And then if you're younger and you like it, we love that. That like
Exactly.
we're cool with that. But it's made for them. It's not made for high school kids or you know,
Exactly.
young kids, you know.
The creative process behind this new album, though. I mean, did y'all go back in that jam like the old days, or did y'all bring something new in here?
We really actually used the COVID method, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Where, you know, because some of the producers are from overseas, like
Yeah.
dudes from the UK would send tracks and then I'd send raps and then they'd send this.
Yeah.
We would go back and forth. So we're using that method on this
Okay.
record a lot, you know, a lot of sending tracks. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
here for that. I'm
Yeah,
here for that. Well,
that's-
I'm going to be
that's what we
looking
do.
forward to it. Now, lastly, speech,
Yeah.
what do you need your fans to know? And if somebody been looking to book you or contact you, man, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, we got a show in Stockbridge at on Juneteenth.
Okay.
It's free.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy. It's at the amphitheater in Stockbridge, so people should come out for that. And then you can reach us at arresteddevelopmentmusic.com. And we got new merchandise. We got all the shows that we're doing, whether it's in Atlanta or anywhere else. We're going to Brazil. We're going to Africa again this year. We just went to Dubai. So yeah, we're touring, man, a lot and releasing what I think is the best music we've ever done, including the Tennessee joints and people. I think we're releasing better music now than we were then. I mean, it doesn't get as much recognition,
Yeah.
but I think we are, man. I really do. I think it's Grammy Award winning stuff.
How do you feel being able to travel the world and touching down in these different lands? I mean, which land surprised you the most and you were the most taken aback from when you touched down there?
I like Australia a lot.
Okay.
Australia has this very island, like laid back, like Irie vibe.
Okay.
But it's white folks, but they are cool, laid back white folks, and they
Exactly.
love hip hop music from the 90s. Like it seemed like they almost sort of stopped at the 90s and said, "This is where we gonna park at." And I like that. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
with
Because
you
that's
on
where
that.
that's where we
That's
was
what I
at.
did, too.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Shoot.
yo. So I mean, I like Australia. I love the Aboriginal people. That's
Yeah.
the original people there,
Yeah.
and they are dope. And they're fighting the same fight we are, you know, against the white people there
Yeah.
who colonized them and took their lands and stuff. So we
Speech,
relate with them.
How do you feel about that? Because you're going all over the world, but you're seeing the same fight taking place all over the world.
Yeah, bro. You know, Andre 3000, I think, wore a shirt during one of his concerts. He said, "Why are all the black people?" I forget what exactly it said, but basically it was saying
They catching
that.
hell all over the world.
All over the world. I think us as Black Americans don't realize how big the campaign of white supremacy was. It was across the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The biggest killer of people wasn't Hitler. It was Leopold in Belgium, who killed millions of Africans in the Congo. And if you go to Belgium right now, in the town square, and I'm not joking, this sounds crazy. In the town square, they have the scrotums of all the black African military that they slayed and killed hanging on the walls. I'm not joking. And this was from back hundreds of years ago. The scrotums are built into the walls. You can look at them, like you can see them. My point is that this man is a monster, but he's celebrated, and this is in Belgium. You could go anywhere, UK, you can go to Africa, of course, was colonialism. The Berlin Conference had Europeans only at a table dividing up the country of Africa, saying which part you gonna take. Not buy, not negotiate. We gonna take it. And that's exactly what they did, man. White supremacy is worldwide, it's huge, and it's affecting us everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So
how do you feel about hip hop that used to be a tool to, educate people about certain things like that, and it's not really being used as a tool to move the culture forward anymore?
Exactly. I feel like we would use it as a tool. Now, we would have our other stuff too.
Yeah.
We're always going to have a variety, but corporations don't like it. So they snuff out groups like Arrested Development or PE or Poor Righteous or whatever. They snuff that out. Even Kendrick can only go but so far before they'll snuff him out as well. So J. Cole, same difference. So like corporations are the ones hampering the ability for us to make sure we speak our truths, because we want to still speak it. We speak it in other areas. If we can do a podcast, we'll do that.
Exactly.
T-shirts, David Banner's got his Black Power fist, the red, gold, and green. All of that's messaging. You know what I'm saying? He's doing that because that's the area he can do it.
Exactly.
If he could do it in his music and still have big success like he used to, then he would do that too.
Yeah.
And I heard him talk about his God box and how he wished it could get even bigger than it was, but he was, it's hampered.
Yeah.
It is, we're facing white supremacy in a lot of areas, and people don't realize that it's not just right here, it's everywhere.
So if we know that we're facing this, what do you think is keeping people from coming together and working together to, make things better for themselves?
Distractions.
Okay.
That's what I think. Distractions. Okay. If we was all talking like we're talking right now every day, we would start planning differently. We'd be thinking differently. You know what, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And instead of doing that, we would start changing our whole regime of the day. The day would be different. But the distractions keep us nice and inundated. You know what I'm saying?
Was there ever any time in this industry that you felt the pressure from, maybe the powers that be or corporations when you had your messaging going out there?
Definitely.
Okay, so how did you deal with that, and at what times did you feel it?
Pretty much right after the first album. When the album did extremely well, bro, sold 5 million albums, made tons. They gave us a $75,000 advance. It made millions upon millions of dollars. Excuse me. Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
Including the labels make more than the artists all the time.
Yeah.
So, if we're happy, if we was doing good, they was doing great. And yet, for the second album, they snuffed that out, man. They said, we can't let this stuff. These dudes talking about the MOVE organization who was bombed in Philadelphia. They talking about the Tulsa race massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They talk about all of this stuff. Oh no, the 13 families that run the world. These various old families like the Rothschilds. And that's what we're talking about. The first song on our second album was called United Minds, and it's talking about the 13 families. They said, nah, we ain't promoting this. And that's exactly what they didn't do. They didn't promote it. You know what I'm saying? Made sure that died real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. No, that's just
real.
Wild right there, Speak.
Yeah.
Because when you tell me that, I always suspected. So this was the point that I wanted to make, though. Because, see, what makes me the most angry about hip-hop and music right now is that they would try to tell me and convince me that, no, the murder, the violence, the sex, that's what's selling. Well, you can't convince me that when Speak
Nope.
sold 5 million
That's
records.
exactly right. No.
I don't want to hear that.
No,
I don't
you-
want to.
I'm
Some
with
of the
you,
most
bro.
successful music was the most positive music.
Exactly
so
right.
why are you trying to convince me that that's all we want to buy?
That's exactly right. No, that's a lie. It's always been a lie. We've always wanted more diversity, man. And
Yeah.
I go to grade schools and elementary schools, and I did a mini documentary with Jason Orr, one of the famous, amazing dudes here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And called The Nigga Factory. And in that documentary, I play that documentary for young kids. I'm talking
Yeah.
about elementary school kids. They ain't never heard of Arrested Development.
Yeah.
They never heard none of our songs. And they totally relate to the content, which is telling them that we are more than this, kill, kill, kill. We're
Yeah.
more than that. They totally relate. They totally understand that we are being just, propaganda's being pushed on us about us being criminals and this, that, and the third. And yet they just don't know what else to rock to because it ain't a lot of stuff out there that they can choose from.
Exactly.
But they know that it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But then they get distracted with the stuff that's popping and they just keep it moving and just go on with their life. But when I come there, they realize it. They talk about it. Like they talk about it. People they smarter than people give them credit for. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.